I might look cool. This guy definitely looks cool, but I don't know if I've seen anything as cool as this automation cell setup. I mean, look at this beauty. It is massive, it is glorious, and it is available universally for all of you folks out there who have the right size parts out there. But before we get into 3 different incredible cells made by Liebherr, we're going to actually discuss the overall beauty of what automation brings to your manufacturing journey. Knut, we're going to start here. We're going to start with this. Before we run around your factory looking at all the cool components you have, automation. It saves money, it saves time, it allows us to do more. Automation brings success to machine shops these days, and the investment, highly worthwhile. I would love to hear more about automation in general as an overview from you and your experience.
Yeah, thank you very much for having some time here with us.
My pleasure.
And of course, automation systems like PHS system, means pallet handling systems of Liebherr, can give the customers many benefits in making more money by producing chips. And we all make money when chips are flying, you know. And those systems can do that. And we can bring up the machining running time up to 90% with automation systems from Liebherr. And yeah, we reduce the setup times. So meanwhile, the machines are running, so we can offer having the parts being unclamped and clamped on the machine pallets on the setting station. So that gives the customer a lot of benefits, and the reduction of part costs are also a big factor. So in the end of the day, before you invest in the next machine, milling machine, so you better think about having one of the automation systems instead of it, because that gives you money and brings you the result of the maximum available power of your machines back. So that's
when I think about all of this, Knut, so many different attributes of manufacturing pop into my head, and I think about 3-axis machining, and people have already had them in their factories, right? And I think it's important to automate those. Maybe put on a robot, put on a cobot, do everything we can to get the chips being made, to keep the spindle turning. I think this is obvious. But when we think about how to truly make money moving forward, it's pallet change systems like this that allow us to do all the setups outside of the machine while the machine is running to get to that 90% you're talking about. This is where high mix comes into play with low volumes, or if you want all of the same parts. And there are, in my opinion, true ways to prioritize and monetize a machine shop by making the right investments. Don't get me wrong, for those of you out there who have existing machines that don't have the time or the money yet to invest in your new stuff, by all means, upgrade your existing machines, but they still have downtime. When you get into the pallet change world, that's where the game changes, doesn't it? That's where everything changes.
Exactly. So that is our main task as well. So that is something we are going to focus on, of course.
This is our conversation today.
Yes, of course.
And as we get into this conversation with Knut, we have 3 systems. I'm going to invite you to take a look at all 3. We have an all-around, a 1500 all-around. We have a 1500 Pro, and then this beast behind me, the 10,000 Pro. We'll go into the details of each one of those, but first, we're going to walk down these stairs and invite you to, we're going to call it entry level, but it is not entry level. It is fascinating, and let's go head that way right now, Knut. Shall we go?
Let's go.
Let's go. Well, we've made it to the all-around just like we promised, and this is an all-around guy right here in Knut. We're going to learn a bit more about, again, I use the word entry level, but it is not an entry level machine, Knut. There are some differences in the pallet systems we're getting ready to go through. We're starting here. What does this unique system, and again, let me reiterate, this can be for any cell out there. For you guys who want automation through Liebherr, any cell, any machine, so long as it fits the pallet change system, you can have a cell like this. So now that they know for sure each 3 of these systems can be utilized, where does this cell come into play? What are some of the unique attributes?
So the PHS Allround, we call it Allround, but you can also call it like a Swiss Army knife, means all around. We can adapt machines, we can have setting stations on all sides of the system wherever you want it. So it's a very flexible and modular built system. So it means We have standard components, quick deliveries, good price, and it's adjustable to all of different types of machines on the market. You know, that's something that's very good. And unique selling point or unique point is we call it front access. Front access means you can have a distance between the system itself and the machine, and it would allow you, if you have more machines in the cell, to keep one of the machines out of the systems in the automatic process. That means, meanwhile, the other machine is running, you can stay and can do some alignments on the machine, can do some repairs on the machine or whatever. There are thousands of reasons why you have to keep one machine out of the system for a while. So that is something we can offer here, and that is something we are really, I would say, is one of the unique parts of the system. The system itself can be available in 3 weight classes. We have 800 kilograms, we have 1500 like that one here, and we have 3 tons. So 3 tons load capacity is handleable on those machines, on those automation systems. And of course, you can have, when you have a look,
Yeah, let's
now
take a
the
look.
system brings some pallets and bring it in and out. You can see a bit more. And yeah, it is really a fast, quick system. It's really compact. You don't need many floor space. And of course, you can have it in 2 or 3 levels in the rack system. And you can have on the setting station hydraulic energy supply, pneumatic, or you can manually clamp parts. You can adapt mill turn machines, for example, and then you have specific setup stations for processes to have a good run out and have all those things that are really important too. So the systems, the setting stations are really made for all of the application on the market.
I know Liebherr to be incredibly precise and accurate. I mean, you guys are known for that. When you make gears, you have to be. So if I understand you're making automation cells, I'm going to instantly relate the two to each other and realize there's no Liebherr product that's going to be low quality whatsoever.
No.
And so when I see this pallet being changed just a minute ago, I think to myself, how do we know about the exact precision of every single pallet change? What have you guys done to make sure that when I switch one in and one out, that I'm getting right back to my zeros where I need to be?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we have pins in the setting stations as well as pins on the forks of the lifting module. So the accuracy by that is being given by those pins. So that means it doesn't matter where the pallet is. In the end of the day, it's finished up in the setting station or in the machine. So the orientation of the pallet has always been given. So that is accurate enough, as well as quality issues. Liebherr built systems for more than 5 years, of course. So it's like we built cranes, refrigerators and stuff like this in the group. So we have our automation system for many years, and lots of customers changing their machines after a while, but the automation system is still the same. So it has almost 2 up to 3 generations of machines. Really
that
good
part
quality.
I didn't think about, Knut, because these things last so long that you would actually very likely switch out machines before you would switch out some of your pallet chain systems. I didn't even think about that part. That's longevity. Okay, something else I want to bring up, because I know our next cell has a bit more diversity to its capability of pallet change, is when this door opens up, I see a massive variations of options. I have different vices. I have ID, OD, round, rectangle, square. I have every combination that I can think of if I am a job shop that needs to get if I'm a prototype shop that is one off every single time, this is the perfect cell for that. I can do all my setup ahead of time.
Yeah. One more point is this system is extendable afterwards, after a couple of years, for example, or also from the beginning, in meter steps. So you always have, everybody has problems getting space for systems like this. So we as Liebherr thought it's a good idea to make it as short and sharp as possible by the design. So the design allows us to extend the system meter-wise. Or from the beginning, if a customer say, I have not enough space, so we can see, we will always find a good way to fit the system into the special shop floor of the customer. So that is something that's very important point. Many customers don't have the space. You know?
You're correct, and you've led me into another piece now, because real estate is expensive.
Yeah.
A lot of people either don't have it and they want it, or it just doesn't exist. There's no possibility. So being able to be flexible enough to create whatever works for your customer. But my question is, if I purchase, are there any limitations to the amount of pallets that I can have, or is my only limitation my space?
So that system has been made for, in general, for up to 4 machines. But right now I have actual projects running with up to 10 machines and a system length of more than 60 meters. So it's possible. So that system is flexible. We can adjust it. We can make it as long as the customer wish. And important also is a modern cell controller. You know, the system needs to understand what the machine is doing, and is the master of all the complete system, machine interface, machine HMI, as well as the cell control HMI is being controlled by a modern cell controller. So we have 2 of them. One is Soflex, the other one is the Procam. So those 2 cell controllers can be used. So that is something that's really modern, good feel, pick and place like the young guys do. I'm not the young way, as you know, but the young people like to do it with the fingers and touch screen and all that stuff. That's possible. Yeah.
We're going to head over to the next one now, the Pro, the 1500 Pro. But I want to say something that I think I failed to mention at the beginning of this interview that's going to be universally true for every single one of these cells, because you said it's set up for 4 machines. If I have an operator like this running 4 machines in a cell like this that's constantly running 24/7, I'm now saving on labor. I'm now not as worried from the skills gap and labor shortage that everyone keeps talking about. I'm truly able to maximize my efficiency inside my shop with maybe a limited amount of people. With that being said, let's head on over to the Pro, because I know that mimics this one, but gets even grander.
Okay, good idea. Let's go.
Well, we've made it to the 1500 Pro, and what makes it a Pro, you're about to find out. What makes him a Pro, you're about to find out. If you notice already, we see a store rag, we see 2 Grove machines, and if you look at the pallet change system up there, it actually looks a bit familiar. It looks a lot like the all-around system we just looked at. What I think is very cool, Knut, is that we already are seeing different machines, and because we can stretch this as far as we want to stretch it, we could actually have a bunch of different machines because the pallets can do that. I think that's the first thing we should acknowledge, is just the fact that this can be set up for a multitude of machines, right?
Of course. So that is a system really can use for different numbers of machines, different sizes of machines, different loads on the machines, on the pallets. And we can also have, in addition to the machine pallets, we can also use Euro pallets from raw and unfinished, unmachined material. So we can bring the material in and out as well, and you save a lot of space at your floor.
Yeah, and that's the part that I was kind of holding my breath to get these guys excited about. We around the world see different options of pallet change systems, and whether one is the best, we're here at Liebherr today. We know your skills, we know your precision, we know your quality, we know your longevity. We know that that pallet change system is going to be incredible, and we can hook it up to any cell. It is not every day, my friend, that I see a bunch of wooden boxes that are set up for automation in the same cell setup as me being able to work on finished parts. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to clean up my floors and put a lot of inventory in the same work cell that's going on. That to me is really cool.
Yes, exactly. So that's just also the main benefit we thought. We started with this system at the beginning with one machine, with only one type of machine pallet. So and then we found out ourselves 20 years ago, of course, yes, we have to do something. So then we extended the machine, the existing one, by new group machines. So and then they found out that the material is always in the shop floor. So we have too much space required for that. So that's why we decided, let's go up to that level of the system and bring the machine pallets in addition with material pallets in one and the same system. And we could use the complete hull height and in the shop floor, and we have enough space for other things, for other important things in the logistics and all the other things, you know.
Yeah, I look over there, Knut, and I can only imagine if all of that was spread on the floor, we wouldn't be able to walk around.
No.
And I've actually
Okay.
been inside of machine shops, Knut, where that becomes a fact.
Yeah.
Because there's just no room for all the different, I mean, honestly, this may exist somewhere else. I'm not sure, but this is the first time I've ever seen it. And I think this
okay.
is brilliant.
Yeah. So just to see that one here, that belt is the belt where it brings the machined and unmachined parts in and out of the system. So that is something that can be done by some colleague of logistics or stuff like that. It don't need to be done by a machine tool or the machine operator here that operates the system. So that is something that can be done by night shifts independently from the rest of the system itself.
You know, Knut, as we walk around to the big monster that we started off with, but from a different angle, I think about automation and running through nights and weekends. And when I think about nights and weekends and I think, okay, maybe I have 10 pallets or maybe I have 20 pallets or 25 pallets, I think to myself, well, in order for me to run all through the weekend with no operators, I have to have programs that are pretty long. They're gonna have to run a few hours, right? Otherwise, I have to come back in and set it up. When I see all of this inventory stacked inside here, this is actually high production and high output that is all unmanned.
Yes.
That's a complete game changer to me.
Yes, especially to us. It was the reason why we invested in such a system. Of course, we do it with our own products, of course, but in the end of the day, it gives us more productivity. We're using our machines in a higher level as we did it before or without automation. And then in the end, we just decided, how that can be done on heavy parts too. So we are here right now. We call it our elephant, or
It's a good name.
our big one.
Well, elephant's the biggest animal on the planet, and it's outside of the water.
So this system can load maximum up to 16 tons. So that is
Wow.
really a monster. Yeah. And you see the parts. Yeah. Can you see that?
Yeah,
See?
these parts
machine
are
beds
massive.
for our gear cutting machines. So we produce them here on our machines as well as we handle them and the system, like you see here.
And just for continued conversation of machine versatility, I see now Burkhardt and Weber.
Exactly.
So again, for anyone who's out there, and I'm gonna even just for fun, because I have a creative mind, Knut, I'm gonna say if there's a machine shop out there that has 10 existing machines that are all being individually run, you could line them up and add this cell aftermarket into that and become a fully automated 10 machine work cell.
Of course. So we can offer our customers things like that. So that is also a big market, which is, let's say, needed to be done. Yeah. So many customers spend a lot of money in their machine tools, and even don't think about automation. So when I think there's a lot of money to get out of the existing machines with an automation. So before you buy the next one, as I said before. Of course, the big heavy ones here, the big systems, are not so many on the market. And of course, you have to consider the high costs for pallets and fixtures and stuff like that. But here you can load and unload the parts outside of the machine, away from the expensive stuff. And meanwhile, the machine is running and can load and unload by those pallet handling system much better and much safer as you would do that with crane load systems like this one here, so on the machine. Then you would damage machine parts and so on and so on. Here you have enough space to do that, load parts on and off, and in a safe way, the lift module brings the parts in the right way, in the good quality into the machine, in and out.
Yeah.
That is something which is a huge benefit for customers on saving costs, having less damages on the parts and the fixtures and stuff like that. Yeah.
And I mean, I've seen so many times where parts get damaged because of exactly what you're describing. But I actually want to step back for a second and speak to those shops out there as we just did, Knut, because when a lot of these shops want to move to automation, they believe I need to buy a brand new machine because there's a lot of pallet change systems out there that are connected to the CNCs, right?
Yeah.
Or if I'm going to fully automate like this, how the heck am I going to do that? But to truly know that this could be an aftermarket installation to make automation on an existing set of machines could instantly turn a tedious shop into a productive shop, one that's complaining about labor shortages into I have enough people, just like that. By giving Liebherr a call and saying, I have these machines, you have the versatility, the flexibility, and the customization to go into their machine shop, organize the machines, and set up a cell like this in any array that they want to make it work.
Yeah. That's one way of selling through systems or having customers on our side, but when they go the next time looking for new machines, they wouldn't do it without automation.
Of course not.
Because if you learn that once, you never go a different way. So that is the best way of making money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed this tour. I mean, starting at the beginning, way up to see the true size of everything, then doing the all around, the Swiss Army knife for those that are trying to get into the pallet change world, then the pro. I mean, that's brilliant. Inventory and machining all in one, and then look at the size. I mean, I don't have anything else to say, my friend.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure for me as well. I hope this has been educational for you. I'm a huge fan of automation, adapting to the future, making sure that we can take care of ourselves moving into the future. And Liebherr is that answer. They've been around for a long time, proving that this stuff works, utilizing it in their own machine shop to perfection. This is how they know, and you know, that it'll work inside your shop as well. Flexibility without compromise, precision, and then supported by service and support as well. Very, very important to understand. Knut, thank you so much for your time today. You have been an absolute pleasure.
Couldn't say it any better.
Well, I learned it from you.
Thank you a lot. Bye, guys.